Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, September the 6th. The year's 2024. Let's talk trading. It's weekly wrap-up time, and it's also NFP Day. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And at the end of the trading week here, I just want to remind you, so it's always in your mind, you have your risk management employed or deployed. You're using risk management. In other words, you're never going to lose more on any one single trade than you are willing to lose. That way you stay in the game. So, we have a little weekly wrap-up going on here. The dashboard tells me all the open gaps were filled. And you can see here for the week, we are 36 pips above the weekly open, 76 off the high, and 76 off the low. So we're pretty much at the midpoint. We zoom out to the monthly. We are in the upper wick zone of the previous month's candle. And we are 35 pips above the monthly open, 77 off the monthly high, and 75 off the monthly low, which once again puts us, seems like, right in the middle. Now, let's see here. We look at the weekly opening range here. You can see that inside bar from what, 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. Notice we dipped in there today, but we bounced out, so 11 pips off that daily low. So we're above that opening range for the week. If we take a look at the year, we are 450 pips above the yearly open, 106 off the high, now 107, and 859 off the low. And notice once again that inside bar action. Lots of inside bar action on the daily. Not so much on the weekly and monthly. And looking at today's ranges, you can see there's a bunch of pairs with ranges exceeding 100 pips, but the pound's only clocking into 88. It's NFP day, so obviously the market's moved due to the release of the NFP numbers. Now, it's funny, Walmart and I kind of debate about these NFP numbers. He says by law they have to be true because it's against the law, but I think they fudged the numbers. And with that release of, what was it, a correction of something like 818,000 jobs, I think I can make the case that these guys have been fudging the numbers. I just, I just don't understand how they can be so inaccurate. And one of the reasons I say that is in a previous life, when I was, I actually was the vice president of MIS for a multi-state, multi-million-dollar hotel company. And, I was running data processing or management information systems department, and we did payroll internally. And every quarter we had to file what was known as a 941 report, which says, okay, here's the people we employed and here's how much money we sent the government in taxes. So that report had to be accurate. Well, if the government gets these reports from businesses, it seems to me for every business you'd have one entry, number of employees. And it'd be real easy if the government wanted to total those records and say, okay, here's how many employees they had this quarter. And then you'd look at the number of people employed last quarter. And simple math tells you if employment went up or down. But you know what? Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I'm not working for the government, so I'm not running those numbers for them. But to me, that was just something that I never could understand how they had to revise and revise. Now, it would be true that, some businesses may or may not file their taxes on time or may not file their taxes accurately. But it just seems to me that, there's rules and laws about that. So unless there's a whole bunch not reporting on time, which once again, they could disclose that. They could say, here's all the businesses that are supposed to report, and here's a list that didn't report on time, and you can figure out um, what's going on from there. But anyway, let's get back to the charts here. So you can see, obviously, I guess if I switch this over to M30, we can see what was going on with the release of those numbers. So obviously, let's see, what would be obvious? Nothing is obvious from this chart because it went, looks like maybe it went down first, then up. We can't tell. Let's drop it down to M15. Can't tell from that. So obviously, we're going to have to go to the 1 minute and see if that's the culprit. So as soon as my computer responds, not sure why it's delaying. There we go. So just what I thought. It went down, wiped out a few stops, got some suckers, ran all the way back up, and then they ran it all the way back down. So hopefully you traded the NFP well, but that's pretty interesting what they did. Now if we put this back to the one, you can see here, this is why we like to tell traders to look left. And for some reason this computer's really responding slow today. But if you can see here, you look left, what's that? Those are all wicks. And that means price was moving down from this level. And so price got up here, didn't break it. Well, guess what happened? It moved down. And so then it moved back up. And if you look left, what do you have here? Big red candle. Okay, and there's some more wicks at this level. Didn't quite get to that level. What happened? Price broke out of the previous hour's wick zone and all the way down. And then what's happening right now? Came down and look at all these wicks here. Right from this level. See, it looks like it touched it or maybe broke it by a pip at the most. And then it bounced off. And notice that level is 3150. What's that? That's a psychological. Sometimes, Harry hindsight, it's easy to see what's going on, but knowing that, once you see it once, you get to see it again. And what happened here? It went through the 25 psychological and came right back through it. Failed to meet it, and what happened? We got to play with the 00 psychological. It went up through it and then back down through it on the 1 hour. Of course, if you look at the 1 minute, there's probably a little bit more price action both ways. But that's just one way to look at things. Once again, look at this rat zone. The red rats got the feast. And sometimes it's a waiting game. So you see this, probably all the candles were green. Then you just have to sit back and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then you let that candle close. Then you get an opportunity to see it touch the smart rat zone limit. Anybody there could have waited and short the open of this M15, still in the rat zone. But I tell you, and I know sometimes it's really difficult to wait. You just chomping at the bit, and I've been guilty of that more often than not, and sometimes I still am. It's a psychological problem. It's not a chart reading problem, and maybe you've experienced that too. But I'm gonna speed up the talk here. Bambino Flex said go long. Price at the pivot, go long. And you can see here, we're right back at the pivot. But we got this big red H4 that we'd have to trade against. I wouldn't recommend it. We took out the daily pivot. We took out that weekly. We have not taken out the monthly. In and out of that upper wick zone. Simple trading. So simple sometimes. And once again, it's not really hairy hindsight, because that's just what it does. Okay, the range, 151 for the week so far, 33 percentile out of the last 12 weeks. And you see the previous week was 157, so just 6 pips different. We did not break the weekly high, but we did break the weekly low by 22 pips. For the rats, high minus close 71, close minus low 80. For the weekly crossover traders, 112 high minus open to the north and 39 open minus low to the south. And just looking at this price action again, big outside bar there, huge. And lower high trade, once again, good for a couple of pips, usually is. And let's see, looking here at that lower wick zone, you can see here it came out, touched it, came out again. For the range of September, 360. Let's see, on the accumulated range. Now let's check out the ATR percentage. What do we have? 42. So we're getting there after 1 week. That's not bad. Year-to-date accumulated, we have not pushed it, so we're at 967, which is the second lowest in September over the last 20 years. Okay, we're looking at the weekly. We're inside that previous week's candle. Zoom out to the monthly, inside that upper wick zone. Buyers still strong control. Drop down to the daily. We almost hit R3. Price rejected from there. Oh, back to the month for a second. We got an inside bar so far in this month. So if we don't break the high or break the low, that'll be in the future. So, fellow traders, that's it. I hope you're having a profitable August so far. And feel free to ask questions. And, if you don't trade the pound and you trade another pair, you can do the same analysis on the pairs that you decide to trade. Because always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So have a fun and safe weekend. Go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.